Welcome back to our channel, fellow Port Charles addicts. Today is a beautiful, drama-filled day to dissect the absolute madness that just dropped on our screens. So grab your coffee and let's get into it. The pendulum has swung, and the blade is coming down fast. We are watching a seismic shift in momentum, where every single alliance is shattering, leaving our favorite characters staring down impossible choices with no way out but through the fire. Let's start with the absolute disaster happening at the Port Charles courthouse. Molly Lansing Davis, having to look Portia Robinson in the eye and deliver the bad news that things are not going to work in their favor. I am sorry, but can we talk about how twisted this entire dynamic has become? Portia and Isaiah Gannon were actually hoping that Curtis Ashford would be found guilty. Let that sink in for a second. Portia wants her ex-husband, the father of her children, to go to prison just so Isaiah can have an easier time suing Curtis in civil court for pain and suffering. I mean, I get it, Curtis absolutely lost his mind when he attacked Isaiah. But Portia's coldness here is staggering. She lied to Curtis for 2 decades about Trina being his daughter, and now she is actively rooting for him to be locked in a cage for the first 8 months of his newborn son's life, because that is exactly what Martin Gray's plea deal would have meant. A reduced sentence but still prison time. And Curtis point blank refused it. He is risking a longer sentence at trial because he refuses to abandon another child, and honestly, I respect him for taking that massive gamble. And let us not forget Isaiah Gannon venting his frustrations to Lucas Jones and Elizabeth Baldwin. Why is Isaiah dragging them into this? Lucas is already drowning in his own guilt over Marco Rios dying for nothing, and he is trying to figure out his future with Britt Westbourne now that she is finally free from WSB. Elizabeth is completely overwhelmed dealing with the General Hospital Board drama, especially since Willow Kane just scored that 16th seat, making Tracy Quartermain absolutely livid. Isaiah parading around the hospital complaining about Curtis is just adding toxic noise to an already volatile environment. But Isaiah is relentless. He wants Curtis ruined, both criminally and financially, and he will not stop until he gets his pound of flesh. But the real shocker in this courtroom drama is Jordan Ashford. Did anyone else scream at their television when Jordan did a complete turnaround? She literally looks at Curtis and says, "Actually, Curtis, I think I'm going to sit this one out." Excuse me? Jordan has been riding for Curtis through thick and thin for years. Even after their divorce, she has been his rock. So why the sudden retreat? Is Jordan feeling guilty about throwing Isaiah under the bus? Or is she finally realizing that tying herself to Curtis's explosive temper is a liability she can no longer afford? Jordan has been through hell lately, especially with the Jen Sidwell undercover nightmare and the Route 91 crash. She might just be preserving her own peace of mind. But abandoning Curtis right when he might actually skate on these assault charges? That is a choice that is going to have massive, destructive ripple effects across the entire Ashford. And speaking of ripple effects, we absolutely have to talk about Anna Devane. Anna is completely losing her grip on reality, and it is terrifying to watch. She corners Jordan and slings the most venomous accusation at her, claiming Jordan betrayed all of them. What is Anna talking about? Is she referring to Jordan's short time under duress working for Cyrus Renault years ago? Or her recent undercover dealings with Jen Sidwell? Because let's be real here. Anna is not operating with a full deck right. She has been having severe hallucinations of Peter August ever since she got back from that French clinic. The psychological torture she endured at Windermere has fractured her mind, and she is projecting that paranoia onto everyone around her. I have been watching Anna since her DVX double agent days in 1985, and this paranoid, ruthless version of Anna is terrifying. Jordan does not deserve this wrath, but Anna is acting like a rogue operative who sees enemies in every single... Wait, I am getting ahead of myself. Let's pivot to the Metro Court Gardens, because my jaw is still on the floor. Ava Jerome is courting a new ally, and when the camera panned to that cane handle resting on the table, I lost my mind. Drew Kane. Ava Jerome and Drew Kane are teaming up? What could these two possibly have in common besides the fact that they both have daughters? I will tell you what they have in common. A mutual connection to Nina Reeves, and a burning desire for revenge. But Ava is playing an incredibly dangerous game here. The spoilers literally warn that if Ava wants to keep her girlfriend, she better leave Nina's old boyfriend alone. Yes, the relationship dynamics in Port Charles are getting that messy, and I am entirely here for it. Ava is a master manipulator, but Drew is operating on pure, unadulterated venom right now. Ever since he regained his speech and mobility, he has been a ticking time bomb. And if Ava thinks she can control Drew, she is dead wrong. Drew wants to destroy Willow and Nina for keeping him locked in a paralyzed state for Ava teaming up with him is going to drag her right into the crossfire of the Kane Corinthos. Remember when Ava tried to play Sunny and Carly against each other? Yeah, didn't work out too well for her then, and this won't either. If Ava aligns with Drew, she is basically declaring World War III on Nina. Have we forgotten that Nina literally shoved Drew's wheelchair into the Quartermain Lake and left him to drown? Nina attempted murder because she was terrified of what Drew would do when he woke up. So Ava partnering with Drew is the ultimate betrayal, but I simply cannot look away. Okay, back to the absolute best part of the episode. Michael Corinthos and Jacinda Bracken. I am obsessed with Jacinda. She is exactly the kind of ruthless, calculating partner Michael needs right now. They are sitting at the Metro Court, having a lovely meal, and Jacinda casually drops the news that she spiked Willow Kane's iced coffee. But not just with anything. She spiked it with the exact same paralytic that Willow used on Drew. This is cinema, people. I am standing up and applauding. Willow's been walking around Port Charles acting like this self-righteous congresswoman, playing the victim, while she literally kept her husband chemically paralyzed and locked inside his own body. The sheer hypocrisy of Willow Kane has been driving me insane for months. And looking back at Michael and Willow's history, this betrayal by Jacinda is pure poetic justice. Remember how Willow and Michael started? They were the moral compasses of Port Charles. They were so self-righteous, constantly judging everyone else's. But then Willow slowly morphed into the exact kind of monster she used to despise. Tracy Quartermain looked Willow in the eye and compared her to her psychotic twin sister, Nell Benson. And honestly, Tracy was completely correct. Willow drugging Drew, keeping him paralyzed, and stealing his life is something straight out of Nell's playbook. Michael seeing this and deciding to use Jacinda to drug Willow with the exact same paralytic is a level of dark, twisted irony that I am absolutely living for. Jacinda tells Michael that things are about to change for the Congresswoman, and she is so right. Think about it. If Willow starts exhibiting the same locked-in symptoms that Drew did, and it happens in a public place, the paparazzi will swarm. The scandal will be front-page news. It will completely destroy her political career. I have been watching since 2015, and this is honestly the best and worst thing they have ever done with Michael's character. He is so cold now. And this is Michael's masterstroke. He has been playing the long game ever since their divorce. He let Willow think she had the upper hand, but he has been waiting for the perfect moment to strike. If Willow is publicly disgraced and medically incapacitated, Michael can swoop in and secure full, emergency sole custody of Wiley and Amelia. He is finally acting like a true Corinthos, embracing the darkness of his family legacy, and I am entirely here for this villain era. Am I the only one who thinks Michael and Jacinda are the ultimate power couple right now? Finally, we absolutely have to dissect Josslyn. When did Josslyn turn into a Black Ops supervisor for the WSB? She is meeting with Hudson Parker, a known operative, and she is reading him the riot act. We need to figure out how we fix this, she tells him, acting like she is the director of the WSB instead of a college student who just got recruited by Z. And what is the massive mess they need to fix? Hudson beat the absolute stuffing out of Ethan Lovett in a hotel room in Oslo. I mean, what was Ethan even doing in Oslo? He bolted from Port Charles to hide the truth about Phoebe's faked DNA test. And clearly, his past caught up with him. But Hudson beating up Robert Scorpio's stepson is a massive, catastrophic liability. You do not lay hands on a Scorpio's family and expect the WSB to just sweep it under the rug. Josslyn is trying to clean up a geopolitical mess, and she is in way over her head. She thinks because she took down Ross Cullum on Spoon Island that she can handle veteran spies and international. But Hudson Parker is dangerous, and Ethan Lovett is a wild card. Ethan broke into the PCPD, stole cold case evidence, and faked a DNA test with Elizabeth Baldwin to hide the true paternity of baby Phoebe. He claimed he had a one-night stand with the late Delilah Wilson, but we all know Ethan is covering for someone much more dangerous. Is Hudson Parker connected to Delilah? Is Hudson the real father, or is he working for the man who is? Ethan thought he could just bolt from Port Charles and leave Brooklyn and Chase holding the bag with the adoption, but the WSB has a long reach. Josslyn trying to fix this means she is going to have to cover up WSB brutality while simultaneously protecting her step-uncle. The tangled web here is just phenomenal storytelling. I am just so overwhelmed by the sheer brilliance of these interwoven plots. Every single character is operating in the gray area right now. There are no heroes left in Port Charles, only survivors. and I am counting down the minutes until tomorrow's episode. Will Willow survive this public takedown, and can Josslyn hide the WSB's dirty work? Drop your wildest theories in the comments below, hit that subscribe button, and let's keep the debate alive.